Hey, y'all already know what it is. It's your boy Don Primo Supreme, man. Make sure y'all follow us at Street Team Worldwide. Make sure you like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button for you can stay up to date on all of our shows, all of our content, and what we're doing next and everything like that. Make sure you go follow the Instagram at Street Team Worldwide. Just everything at Street Team Worldwide. Hit all of our links. We got new projects coming up, new shows, and all that good stuff right now. Always hit us up in the DMs. We got merch. We got ski masks. We got hats. I did move the hats, but you already know what we got. Hit us up. You already know all merch. Holla at us, man. Network. Right now, we got a special guest, man. This is really special, man. This guy actually helped me get my do my first shows that I was hosting and everything. Some of my first shows. So, definitely see my potential earlier and everything like that. So, gonna bring out my guy Tully. What's up with you, man? Or person, Definitive Productions in the building, man. They just did a hot shows, the Spice One shows out there in LA and Lancaster at the King Bar. So, shout out to the King Bar and shout out to Definitive Productions and Sucker Punch Productions and all the other productions involved.
Yeah.
What's up with you, man?
Nothing, just living the dream.
There you go, man. You're dreaming big, I guess. You know what I'm saying? You sound
Yep.
excited about it.
I'm excited as can be.
I see, man. You see, man. You're on the show, man, making it happen, making history. Is it full circle for you? I remember you used to put me on shows. Now I'm putting you on my show. How's that feel?
Yeah. What a circle. What a roller coaster, man.
I know it's more like an oval, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's all good though, man. How you been though?
I'm pretty well.
Yeah.
Doing show stuff.
Yeah. How's that been going for you?
Oh, it's pretty good.
Yeah.
Getting ready for a bunch of stuff this summer. Summer's always super busy for my company.
Yeah.
So yeah, summertime. I can't wait. Outdoor events. That's the world I like the most.
Yeah. That's what you prefer more, like amphitheaters, outdoor events and stuff like that?
Outdoor stuff, yeah, especially post-pandemic.
Yeah.
I lost some shows to fucking COVID, and it was heartbreaking.
I mean, I know that was probably a tough year. Tough whole little section of COVID. How did you manage more during that? Just had to just rely on your reserve on all that?
Yeah, I mean, it was okay. And then luckily I have all my affairs in order, so I was able to get the government assistance for small business owners.
Yeah.
So I had a great year. I had a great 2020.
COVID business was good for you?
Yeah. And then the first couple months were really big for us in Fresno.
Yeah.
And then the government helped small business. If you had your stuff in order and you were a small business owner, you were able to receive a lot of assistance, and it was cool, man. I'm glad I was the only promoter I know who was able to really cash in on it.
Yeah, shit, man. Even if you didn't have your stuff in order, you definitely can get some money, man. COVID was definitely business was booming during the COVID for whoever knew that paperwork game and shit like that. They was making it happen.
Yeah, and stuff was cheap. I bought a bunch of sound equipment for half of what you'd pay for it now.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was good. It was a great year.
Yeah, so that was just a lot of people were scrambling and everything like that. How was it when you got back? Were you just itching to do shows? You perform as well, the Cumbia Tron, you know what I'm saying? You guys are out there. Do you talk about that without the mask like Rey Mysterio? Or can we talk about that? Is that a secret identity or thing or something like that?
Yeah. Well, I do a whole event and I talk about the event. So
okay.
Tron as a whole.
Yeah.
Because I do the production for it and stage decoration and stuff like that.
Yeah, I seen it. I was like, that's a whole setup, man. You got a whole thing.
Yeah. So we have people in costumes and it's a whole deal. So I talk about that event. I mean, honestly, when COVID was over, it was wasn't it just so cool not needing to work in the real world? It was kind of a bummer.
Yeah. I worked all COVID, man. I don't know what people talking about. I didn't get no time off. So
I got a lot of time off. It was great, man.
I'm glad you enjoyed that. I'm glad you enjoyed that. Is that where you built the whole Cumbia Tron up and everything? I was
No,
doing it before
no,
that, but the whole like where you at now, it's definitely getting legs. It's definitely building. The
yeah.
movement.
I mean, I started in 2015,
Yeah,
uh, so it's been going up, and
yeah,
then honestly, COVID probably set it back a little bit just because of
yeah.
how it affected local events.
Uh-huh.
Because you lose that constant touch with your followers, and then it's kind of hard to get them back with social media.
Yeah. I see
Um,
a lot of people that music is like well, not even that music, or that events are like I guess I'm noticing it more because I see it more, I guess.
yeah.
But those events are they do pop off a lot. I see a lot of those events going on and everything like that. How did you even like join in that movement like that did it just was you just saw something somewhere and like I gotta do it?
Um, I mean, I like studied Latin percussion when I was
Mm,
like 18, 19.
yeah,
I was like really into music, and I really liked Latin music, and I kind of went through a progression of different styles, and I landed that one was just most appealing to me, and it's kind of a world that's under and misrepresented, and I
yeah,
just like it's just cool. I like the music. Um, the vibe of it, the dancing to it is fun. The people who come out for it are fun.
no,
It's coming from like rap is really refreshing, honestly.
no.
A bunch of rap shows, so it's a whole other world that's a lot
Yeah,
nicer and more
yeah.
creative.
I was about to ask you because you do a lot of hip hop shows. Like
Yeah.
would you say you're more into hip hop or you're more into other genres or hip hop
Um,
is your money maker?
when I personally book events, it's a lot of hip hop.
Yeah,
I do production for shows, so like staging and trussing and lighting and sound, and with
no,
that, it's all types of stuff. All
okay,
types of stuff all over the place. But when I book shows in Fresno, usually like hip hop is the one that does the best for me, and I've
yeah,
done the most of it. So our reach is most of that crowd.
yeah,
But
no,
yeah, we do all types of stuff. I do cumbia and this, and then rock shows, and I've done reggae shows and all types of
no.
stuff. Everything.
So cumbia is that like that's your favorite type of shows to do though?
Kinda. It does. It's not as like it's a upstart, and it's like a niche, so it's
Huh?
not the
Yeah,
money maker that like a rap show is. So I
yeah,
have to like pepper it in as I can because
yeah,
it's still a growing brand, and it's getting bigger and bigger. But then I'm trying to put more and more into it, so it
yeah,
always like needs constant improvement to grow. So
yeah,
it's not sustainable by itself because I do these big events, and then we can invest in decorations like fake palm
yeah.
trees and stuff so that the shows are cooler. So we're scaling it up, but hopefully one day it'll be my full-time operation.
So plan on one day like taking it on the road like a whole show or something like
Yeah,
that.
I mean we go on the I've done it in Hong Kong. We've
You
done
done it all the way in Hong Kong?
well, I just went and DJ'd in Hong Kong, but it's the same stuff. Like, and I used it with the platform that we have out here,
Yeah.
and we
How,
did it in Brooklyn.
yeah.
But we do that, but yeah, we're just trying to like grow it into something that's what I want it to be, which is like a fully immersive, cool event that's really unique.
Yeah. How was it in Hong Kong, man? So I mean,
Um,
because Hong Kong guys, they pretty much do like they mess with a lot of the Latin culture. I know they got like they do a lot of the West Coast low ride. Or am I thinking about the right place? Hong
I
Kong?
think I know Japan has a big culture for that. When I was in Hong Kong, there wasn't much. There was some.
Is Hong Kong in Japan? Or
No, Hong Kong is like a Chinese.
oh shit,
Hong
I'm
Kong,
stereotyping.
Hong Kong is to China, kind of like what Puerto Rico is to America, right? So
Oh,
it's like
okay, okay.
China, but it's in some weird way, it's its own place. But
Oh, okay. Well, I
anyways,
mean, I
it's
was kind of in this, and we was in the same area, I guess.
yeah. So at the time I was out there, there was like some tropical music. I didn't see really any cumbia stuff. I said I was
Yeah.
like the first cumbia DJ from California to ever play in Hong Kong. So no one's taken that title from me yet.
I mean, were they feeling it?
Yeah, I mean, both of them were small. It was
Yeah.
like kind of weird. The places that let me in, it was kind of funny. One was really great, actually. One was like a speakeasy. It was in the you go into a restaurant, and Hong
Yeah.
Kong's really nice, so it's a really nice restaurant. But you go through like a back hallway through a door that's really dark, and then there's like a immaculate, gorgeous like 50s lounge setup, and it's like a speakeasy,
Uh,
and they had all analog gear. And I played there, and it was like at max capacity. That room was 18 or 20 people or something like that. So there was a dozen people there. They liked it though.
yeah, I guess they
And then
feel it.
yeah, and another one was at like a hookah lounge, but then the place they had me playing was outside, and it happened to be raining. So you know how that.
Yeah,
So there were some people there who were cool, but
yeah.
you
So what were
know,
you intentionally doing being in Hong Kong? You were just there? Just or
my brother had lived there, and then I
oh,
was going
okay.
there, so I started contacting venues, and I was like, "Hey, I'm gonna be in Hong
Yeah.
Kong. Let me DJ for free because I don't have a visa, so I can't take any money."
Yeah.
So I got
Okay.
some free gigs.
I mean, that's good for it. That's just a good start right there, man.
Ah,
Going on, you know. And did were any artists or anybody you like connected with or anything out there as well?
yeah, actually, I have a couple internet friends who live out there, and they're just like,
Uh,
"If you're ever back in Hong Kong, let
yeah.
us know." You know, it's just kind of. I'm not sure I'll be able to go back there, but um,
Are you able to set up shows like overseas, like bring an artist over or something like that? Or is that like that's like a lot of red tape or some shit? Huh?
I mean, it would be difficult, and in Hong Kong, it would be more difficult than in other places because they're pretty.
Yeah.
Well, not seem like a serious place. I briefly looked into what it would take to get a work visa, and it's
Yeah.
extremely cumbersome for someone in my
Mm,
position.
damn. Yeah. You
So
never think about all that shit. You be like, when you just going to go like do a job, you be like, you got to go get visas, this,
yeah,
that, and the other establishments and all that. Like, yes, man, that's a lot, man. I wouldn't even, I can't even think about that.
yeah.
What about getting artists over here? They still get so artists for them to do a show over here. Say you was getting a Hong Kong artist, they would have to get like a work visa from the U.S. or something like that.
Yeah, when I book out of town artists, almost every single time they have a visa through their management,
Yeah,
or I mean, sometimes I've kind of helped in the process because artists will book a tour and they'll have to prove that the tour is happening. So you'll need to get a letter from a venue that
yeah,
says like we're a real business and this artist is coming, and you have to tell them how much
uh,
you're paying them because
yeah.
then the U.S. Treasury takes some money from them.
Damn.
So, but yeah, usually the artists do it. I've never had to do more than just ask the venue for a letter, and the letter that
Yeah,
you need is kind of like boilerplate, so
yeah.
that's not much from our end. But I know it can be very difficult for some people.
Oh man, that's crazy, man.
Yeah.
What's one of like the craziest shows you've been on? You know, where it's just like this shit is just a good a good time story or like a headache story.
The
Yeah,
headache stories stand out more because they're crazier.
yeah,
Um, I mean, all types of stuff. Most shows are have some crazy debacle going on.
yeah.
We've done I've done a show in Fresno with X-Rated. The rapper is like his second show after he got out of prison,
That's
and
the
the
one
venue.
that that's the one that no, I'm thinking of somebody else. Um what did X-Ray go to jail for again?
Murder.
Yes, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, okay, I'm even thinking about the right person.
But he was in prison forever, and he got out, and we did a show
Yeah.
with him. And the venue was like, oh, 350 capacity,
Yeah.
easy. And we
Uh-huh.
sold 350 tickets. And then the
Yeah.
police were there, and the owner was not being forthcoming about the reality of his situation. And at like 270, he made us cut the door, and
Yeah.
the tickets were pretty expensive. And there was a huge fucking line of people. You know, the fans of X-Rated weren't necessarily like the most well-mannered humans, you know.
Yeah.
So we had
Yeah.
like we had a little almost riot on our hands, and then after some really tense moments, we were able to kind of get some people out and get some people in and filter through most of them, but we
Damn.
had to give like a lot of refunds, and it was the closest a show I've done has ever been to like a. It's always like, oh, it was almost a riot, and this was like they were ready to start breaking windows and
Oh yeah.
fighting. It was
It
really,
sounded like they
really.
about to turn that bitch up.
Yeah, it was super tense.
Yeah,
That was a fun one. Um, God, there's so much. Honestly, they just blur together. It's hard to think of
yeah.
them individually because it's just always crazy stuff. Shows are crazy.
Who's one of the best artists to work with?
Oh, lots of them. Old
Uh,
school rappers are almost always really cool.
yeah.
Old school West Coast rappers are almost really cool. There's a thing about East Coast people being difficult.
Yeah.
Um,
A lot of old school like East Coast artists. They're kind of difficult.
yeah, all the ones I've ever dealt with are like very not necessarily difficult, but they're never like fun. They're never like trying to be cool. Like
Yeah,
none
they're
of the
not
ones
on
I
no chill shit.
that's not to say there's not cool East Coast rappers, but
Yeah,
like yeah, I've had some tense people. And then usually it just seems like usually the West Coast ones, whatever it is about that type of music, or maybe it's because we're in California already. But they're just like cool, like they'll be hanging out, you can chat with them, like they're a lot easier to deal with.
yeah.
So that's just my observation from the artists I've dealt with.
No, I definitely feel that.
Indie rappers are usually pretty cool, like backpack hip hop stuff. That's
Yeah,
almost always a cool scene. But also, it's like those people don't get enough business to have those attitudes.
that sucks though, huh? Because some of the best, oh shit, some of the best artists, cool people, they just, I guess you like to say, they don't do a lot of business. So it's like, I gotta get, who's gonna draw, the big
Yeah, it's
crowd.
a bummer. Yeah, because honestly, the ones who are like really cool, like my favorite artists, like I can't work with for money. Like I like the idea of booking a lot of people, but it's always hard what's actually going to generate revenue.
Yeah. What was one of like your shows that just like one of your biggest shows?
Um, Too short. The first time I did Legends of the Bay, which is the event we just did in Los Angeles and Fresno, it was really big.
Yeah.
It was like 1,300 people. We did Too Short in Central California. I did it with another guy, and that was like 2,000 people.
Yeah.
That's the biggest one that we like did. I've helped with really large events, but I didn't
Yeah.
like completely set them up. I've just done miscellaneous things. I've done like production for really big events too, but I
Yeah.
didn't book them, so I just get booked to set up stuff.
Yeah. What do you more prefer, setting up shows or like just doing behind the scenes production and stage work and all that?
Doing production is cool. Doing
Yeah.
production is really cool, and then you get and they're honestly really complimentary of each other because then when I do events outdoors, you would have to rent production, so I get it. I
Yeah.
can compete at a level that no other local promoter can compete at because I
Yeah.
can just do it. I could just set up a show in my backyard if I wanted to.
Yeah.
Everyone else, I'm $5,000 ahead of everybody because they're gonna have to pay for everything.
Yeah.
So they both need each other. But I
Hmm.
mean, doing sound is more fun because you just show up and do it, and you
Yeah.
get paid guaranteed. You have a contract that says you get paid. You still get the fun of working in the music realm. Um, but yeah, it's lower stress, and then you don't take it home with you. Like
Yeah.
shows linger, the stress of shows will linger.
Yeah.
Production is a day's work, and then it's cool also because for me, I do events like so I get a big production gig. So I did like the last really big production gig I did was for Morris Day and the Time. So I
Oh
get
shit.
money to do the gig, and then we have to buy stuff to make sure the gig goes off without a hitch. And then
Yeah.
so now when we do Kumbiatron, we have like the nicest stuff just because I
Yeah.
have it. So it's
Yeah.
like it's really
So it's a
complimentary.
win-win situation, man.
Yeah,
So you get to when you do those big shows, you do get to meet the artist. Well, shit, yeah, you're doing their sound check and everything like that. So
yeah,
you got to meet Morris Day.
kinda. I mean, I
Yeah.
don't. I'm so jaded to that stuff now. Unfortunately, I like watching the
Uh,
shows. I just know how often artists are disappointing, so I don't even want to meet them.
when's the
And
last time you were like
yeah.
starstruck?
Oh gosh, I don't know, man. I'm over it.
You're a fucking superstar now. He's like, oh, I've been there, done that.
Yeah, I mean, we did Snoop Dogg, and I booked Snoop Dogg for a venue out here. I didn't pay for it. I set it up for them. I helped them book it,
Yeah.
and I did some work on the show. And even at that time, like he's huge and it's cool. He was actually a cool guy too, but it's just like I don't
Yeah.
want to bug him, and I know the mindset that the artists are in. So I don't want to add to people just being in their face, like I just don't
Yeah.
want to contribute to that.
Oh yeah.
So I just have a
It's
little more respect for it. But it is cool because every now and then now, you're
yeah.
doing sound, you'll casually meet people, and then
Yeah.
that's fun. Like when they're cool and they come up and they want to chit
Yeah.
chat for a minute, that's always really
Yeah.
fun. So
Yeah,
like
man.
I did
But
War, and
yeah.
for a minute they hung out and we were like smoking pot, and it's super cool,
Yeah.
And
Well, they
he was
has War. They're like, oh, dude. They're like, shit, man. I'm just glad we getting it. Well, War. They're always a touring type of group, so they stay
yeah,
doing
they're
good.
very serious. That's a very serious show. Like they have
Yeah.
very serious requirements.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And their management is very hard because they're so established. But then the artists themselves were cool.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then to me, that's always the coolest thing is when
Yeah.
you just go like you meet them and they're really nice and mild.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it's been some artists that have been some dicks, what I'm saying? Definitely. You just be like, damn, dog, it ain't even that serious. But, I don't like sometimes I think like you don't know what they've been through on the road. You don't know if motherfuckers trying to
Yeah, and
rob
then
them or something.
they're out every single day, and everyone wants
Yeah.
to meet them, and everyone wants a picture, and then it's like, how sad is that? That people
Yeah.
just like want to prove that they met you, but like they don't
Yeah.
care about you. I know that's a weird thing with them, right? It's
Yeah,
just like, let
man.
me get a picture, and then you're done with them and you leave. Like that's odd, and it
Yeah,
happens
man.
to these people day after day after day. It's kind of weird.
Yeah, that's crazy thing for a show and too. And it's like, when you get to a show and it's like, especially if you're the headliner, you gotta think everybody in this fucking room knows who I am, and I don't know a single person. It's
Yeah,
like,
and they all want to meet them, and they all have very
yeah,
similar stories, and it's kind
yeah,
of
and you
weird.
don't know what they want to do. Some people might be in there hating. Some people might be doing this. Some
Yeah,
people might be on some weird shit. Thinking like on some super fan, some stan shit. It's like you never know.
yeah,
You heard about like that guy that went to Rihanna's house and proposed to her, one of her fans
yeah.
or some shit.
See, and then
You
that's sad. Like he had the best of intentions,
Yeah,
but
he
he's
was
just
really
a loser.
concerned.
Yeah,
He just went about it all weird and shit like that. He probably was
yeah,
really nice about it, sincere.
yeah. And then
Uh,
it's like they feel like they know the artist because they know the music and they study it so much, and there's a huge disconnect because they really don't know the people.
yeah,
And then yeah, I kind of get why some artists are rude. Sometimes they're just
yeah,
mean because they can be. So
yeah.
there's a distinction.
Any weird fan stories that you've seen that happened to any artist? Like some crazy shit.
No, I mean we've had to fulfill crazy requests to protect artists from potential fans like that.
Yeah,
Um, I mean, I've seen annoying people. I've never seen anything over the top. Like we've never
yeah.
had to drag anyone away from an artist or anything like that.
Okay. Who did the
So,
most craziest shit? Who did the most TMZ shit? Who did the shit you're gonna put in a book?
um, one time, you know what? One of the when we had the last time Afroman played at Industry Theater,
Uh-huh.
um, he had a tour manager guy who booked his whole tour, and the tour guy was taking 50% deposits on shows and pocketing it. And Afroman was getting paid the balance and thinking that was the whole payment, and he didn't realize people were paying deposits.
Uh,
And I got mad at the guy because he was being weird, and he was like, "Oh, can you wire me the remainder?" He was just being shady because I'm used to
yeah.
settling with artists directly, or an artist saying settle with this person.
Yeah.
I was like, you pay agents half all the time, but you never settle with agents. You never finish the deal with the agent.
Yeah. You give it to the artist.
Yeah, unless I mean, in some circumstances it's different, but not with the level of this event. Like this
Yeah.
was super unorthodox. And then it's Afroman in the AV, so I was able to get a hold of Afroman. Like I got his phone number. It wasn't very hard.
Yeah.
And I found someone who went to school with him.
Yeah.
Um, and I was like, hey, do you want me to send the remainder to whatever his name is? And he was like, oh, what are you talking about? And I was like, the balance of the payment. And he was like, oh, the X amount of money. Like he just said the half number, say it was $1,500. Oh, the $1,500.
Yeah.
That's what it was. And I was like, no, that's half of it. And he was like, wait. Then
Oh man.
he like kind of started putting it together, and then in person the agent was like there, and his band was supposed to be playing, and he was all weird. And then at the
Yeah.
end of the show, Afro Man made me go to this guy's hotel room to like to like air this dude out for what he did. And
Damn.
we went to this guy's hotel room, and he was like, how much was this show? And he looked at me, and I said the number, and then he looked at the guy, and he's like, where's my money?
Yeah.
The guy was like, oh, just deer in headlights, and
Damn.
I didn't get crazy or anything, but he's a really large guy,
And Afro Man, he got them paws. He'll slap the shit out of a
Yeah.
motherfucker. You know what I'm
Yeah, and I
saying?
mean, this guy obviously wasn't gonna happen. And then what was funny is while we were in there, he looked at me. He's like, "Man, he steals from me, and if I fuck him up, I get in trouble." Like he just said that to me with the guy right there.
Yeah.
But he was honestly he was shockingly reserved about it. I was scared at first that it was gonna be like just a fucking true crime story or some shit,
Yeah.
But he was
Afro
good.
Man's one of the chillest dudes, though, man.
Yeah.
He's hella chill.
Yeah, and I guess the guy got his parents to wire him some money or some shit, and he gave him money.
Wow.
That was absolutely crazy.
Yeah, man. I bet old boy he got out the game, man. But it's a lot of it. I mean, I bet you that's probably comes up so much time, like the scamminess of shows and booking agents and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's despicable, man. The people are just trash.
How do you spot them? Do they all come? Do they all have the same routine?
Yeah, a lot of them do.
Yeah.
It's funny. I always tell Jaime from Mr. Sucker Punch. I'll be like, these people, like, he'll tell me about a guy, and it's like, oh, I know him, but he lives in Fresno. Like, I know that guy because they act exactly the fucking same, and they're gonna do the exact same shit.
Yeah.
And I'm right every fucking time because they're all carbon copies of each other. And like, if you do X, Y, and Z, then your goal is this. Like it's every time. And there's always random people who behave oddly and out of context, but most of the people just behave in very similar ways.
You got a checklist. You gotta be like, they talk too much about this. They do this. Oh, they say they know this.
Yeah, it's like, oh, they said this. How did they phrase that? Oh, they said it like this. What did he ask for? And then did he have this? Like, yeah, it's always the same. And then you could just about guess what they're gonna do.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean something, but then of course there's still lots of manipulative people, and then I'm a softie, so I still have to deal with bad people, but I've just gotten better at mitigating my risk.
Yeah, I mean, it seems like you're doing pretty good, man. Your shows go up without a hitch most of the time. Has there any been that time where somebody scammed you? Like you was like, "Fuck!" Like I sent them some money and it wasn't that. They didn't deliver.
In the AV, I did.
Yeah,
I got scammed.
That is known to get scammed in AV. That is that is a scammer central.
Yeah, the guy who did it killed someone. He's in prison now, so my money's gone.
Oh shit! Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
He's
spoken about.
Damn,
he was always cool to me, to be honest, and he got scammed too. He did not. Yeah. He didn't do it to me. Like he got screwed, but we got screwed together, and it was his thing that he found. But,
yeah. And that guy, you wouldn't even think he was like I wouldn't say square, but he was a.
He was down.
he was yeah. Eventually, he was down. I guess. Yeah, because he was about it and rowdy. I guess.
Yeah, as it turns out, man. As it turns out, he was very much about it. He was always cool with me, and he got ripped off. He showed me he had everything to prove he got ripped off too, and it was either like a hilariously over the top, extensive scam to not get very much money, or he just got screwed, and I let him. I like joined him,
Yeah.
So I never like held a super grudge about it. I've like booked an artist, and then it turned out that the person that I booked it through no longer had the connection that they were supposed to. But then I've actually pretty much always been able to sort it out. But I'm a feisty, persistent guy, and I'll just bug people, So
yeah.
If
so
you're not
saying
ready
it's pretty much you can get any type of information if you're persistent. If you know.
Yeah, and if you can speak coherently to people, because you can't just be getting like crazy and aggressive with people, but you have to be ready to have really, really uncomfortable conversations. Yeah. And if you're not, people will just take from you. Because I've got like people have done bad things and I'll just be like, oh, well, you're gonna give me that money, right? Because you have to. Oh, well, it's like, no, you just have to do it because you have to. So thanks.
Yeah,
And you
yeah,
know, you tell them that every day politely, and eventually they'll just give you your money. Be like, oh, hey, do
yeah,
you have that money? Hey, like never get mean, but just be ready to every single day have a really fucking annoying conversation with somebody.
yeah. And the crazy thing is, you always be like, I feel what you're saying after shows. You'd be like, I shouldn't have to come. You know, you have to come pay me.
Yeah,
I shouldn't have to look for you all the way to the end of all the way of the night, and then you're like somewhere, and then I got to knock on her door, and then this like, bitch, you seen me 83 times before this,
yeah.
like what I'm saying. But
Yeah,
it
so they'll
happens
just
though.
do it right. You give someone just the opportunity, they'll rip you off for $100. That's the most common thing. And then
Yeah,
I'm comfortable having really rough conversations, so I tend to not have that issue. But then I
yeah,
also get labeled hard to work with by really lame people. They'll be like,
yeah.
"Oh, he wouldn't even let me rip him off for $500."
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That'd be the problem, you know what I'm saying? Like when somebody wants give somebody a quote and be like, "Oh yeah, you want your whole quote? What?" Or some shit like
Right?
that.
Yeah, it's like, "Oh, you want to do exactly what I said I was going to do?" Oh, and then they get
Yeah, yeah,
um, yeah. But I mean, that's the name of the game. And then I always think of it like it's like you work at Walmart, and then when you take your lunch break, they don't pay you unless you bug them. You know, like every boss is going to try and steal from you. Everyone tries to steal from fucking everybody.
yeah,
You just have to
yeah,
advocate for what you need to make sure you're taken care of.
yeah. I mean, I guess that's the name of the game. You trying to are we all trying to get over on somebody? I
Right?
guess.
Yeah, I mean, kind of.
Yeah. Everybody wants to get over, just I guess gently.
Yeah, like they just will. You'd be shocked how many people will just try and screw you, and you can just be like, no, and they're like, okay,
Yeah, yeah,
like that's it. They would if they could, but you tell them no, and then they don't, and then they're
yeah. Yeah, most of the times you talk to somebody and give them like your qualifications or your requirements, they understand unless they just being like you're just an ass. Like, damn,
yeah,
hold on, you just some people just love conflict for some
yeah,
reason. Like they can't go without it. Do you
yeah.
ever work with those type of people? Just be like, you
Um,
know, they just
I
like
mean,
they
what's
you just
funny
want to be
is,
combative.
yeah, no, I know. I mean, I don't work with people like that. I know some people in the industry who try and behave like that,
Yeah,
and they're either super successful or not at all successful, and either way, I would try and avoid
no
them.
middle ground with
There's
that type
almost no
of
middle ground. Yeah, there's no like
yeah,
doing okay, really psychopath narcissist people.
yeah,
But then the sad thing is everyone is looking to rip you off. So it's not like everyone wants to fight, but it's like I did an event in Palm Springs with Jaime, and this venue said they had $1,000 sponsorship, and Jaime was like, "Hey, do you have that $1,000?" And he's an angel, so he was just like, "Hey, do you have the money that you said you did?" And they're like, "Oh, I don't know." And he was just like, "Okay." And I went there and I stopped the show and I was like, "Hey, man, like you better give him this fucking money because like
yeah,
this show isn't happening if you don't, because that's what it is, because you have to do what you said." And the guy said that he didn't like my vibe and that
yeah.
I was bringing negative energy into the moment, and he didn't like it. But we got the money, we got the
Because
sponsorship,
yeah,
and that was
negative energy and all.
yeah. So it's like, is that negative energy, or does it just suck when you have to be held accountable? And to me,
Yeah,
that's like a recurring theme within people who want to work in the live entertainment is they don't want to be held accountable for their own actions, and they want you to just accept it.
yeah,
And I'm not that guy. Some people do. I don't know.
yeah.
I'm
You're
not that.
ready. You're ready. You'll be ready to metaphorically turn it up on them with
Yes,
a verbal lashing.
a verbal assault.
Yeah, go verbal drive by on them.
Yeah, man. The AV Mall signed a contract with us to do a Cumbiatron for Cinco de Mayo last year.
Yeah,
And the contract said they owed us a 50% deposit no matter
yeah,
what. Even if the show got canceled, they owed us a 50% deposit. And a couple of
uh,
weeks before the event, they canceled it. And I was like, hey, like, cool, but where's my deposit? And they're like, oh, that's not how this works. And I was like, hey, that's how this is going to fucking work. And she
yeah,
was like, I can show you the emails that you'd get a kick out of them. I was like, hey, Debbie, you fucking moron. Like, you signed a contract. You don't just get to decide you're not going to pay me because you don't think you should. Like, you're going
yeah,
to pay me. It's going to be you or your boss's attorney, but
yeah,
someone's going to give me that money. And I was emailing her every single fucking day, and I had to email people she worked with, and I had to email it was a big company, and it turned out to be a systemic thing within the Antelope Valley Mall. And then it got bought by someone, and they cleared fucking house, and these long-term AV Mall people got fired. But I eventually got a hold of an attorney, and he read the contract, and it was just like, yeah, we're gonna pay you. Like, stop bothering the staff, but we're gonna give you your money.
Yeah.
Yeah, man.
Did you get interest on them?
No. By the time it happened, it's funny because it was with some other people, and they don't have the threshold for conflict that I do. So they were over it. So we just accepted. Because I was like, we could sue these motherfuckers, and I could ask them for time for every email I had to write them. Yeah. And we'd win because we have a contract.
Yeah.
But anyways, like, they just were going to rip us off and not say anything. And that's the AV Mall.
Yeah. Well, I feel it, man. That's why they close the stores now.
And
you should have told them I need it for pain, suffering. I got carpal tunnel now. Like I said, I typed all my shit. You know what I mean? So I need all that money.
Yep. Yeah. I told her a lot.
Shout out to my guy King Louis for tuning in, man. I see you, bro. I see you. But yeah, we're here with my boy Tully, man, having a good talk, talking about the different shows he's been a part in and everything like that, man. Make sure y'all go like, subscribe, share, go hit that notification button to stay up to date. You can rewatch this show and all of our other shows, hit that merch and all that right now. Right now, we're gonna do a little reaction right now. We're gonna do a little what would you do with Tully? I gotta bring that fucking intro back, man. I gotta bring it. Oh, I didn't see. That's what I forgot to do. Oh, I can see him though. But we're gonna do a little. What would you do with Tully? What would you do? Some reactions with Tully. So you know, what I'm saying we're gonna get into some things. Have you ever tried to do too much to impress somebody?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You said that very casually, like yes, we all have been there. Yeah, but this person is definitely doing way too much. I don't know if this was his job or he just thought it was a good idea.
Oh my God, baby.
It's fine. Come jump on him. Come sit on his back. He's not hurting me.
He's okay.
Hurry up, Linus.
You want me to open his mouth?
You can try. 2 fingers. If anything, sir, put it on the stick.
Woo.
What I don't get. What was she supposed to do on his back? Like, does that make him like open up? Like, is she sat on his back too?
Yeah, that's how alligators work, man. Didn't you?
Yeah, he really thought that. He definitely didn't look like a professional, man. Definitely. Well, this next one is. We're gonna see what this next one.
The 2-week-old.
This is a don't laugh video. This is an educational video only. This is
the 2-week-old unrefrigerated pie. Long ways to drive.
Man, what have you seen that, man? What would you do first?
I'd feel really bad. I guess you will help him up, right?
Would you?
Yeah.
No, not saying would you help him up. Not go help him up. Would you laugh though?
My gut reaction would probably be to laugh, and then I would feel really bad immediately after.
No, you gotta at least try to like do the little hold up, let me hold it in if you can. I don't know if I would laugh right there. No, I probably would, because that shit would be crazy if you seen that.
It depends on if you saw it all. If you watched them do it, it wasn't that much of a surprise, right?
Yeah, because that really wasn't an accident. She did that to herself. She did that to herself. She went down there. She did not. Yeah, she's probably fine. You know
gotta let people experiment.
Well, this next guy, he's probably definitely not fine. This guy would definitely laugh in his face because you got to know your limits. You definitely got to know your limits.
Mission failed.
I'm kind of impressed and embarrassed at the same time for him because he really did do a front. Well, I guess that was like a half or front flip.
Mission failed.
That was like a half front flip. I don't know. Because he didn't really like tuck, you know what I'm saying? He didn't really tuck it out, you know.
Yeah, I mean, I'm no expert. I can say what he should have done.
Yeah, I mean, he should have not done it. That's what let's just say.
Oh, but then you got to try. How is
You
he going to
gotta-
get better?
you died. That's a worse gig right there because the only way to get better is to fucking, I guess, damn near break your neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a tough gig right there.
I'm
Well, this
betting.
guy definitely had a tough gig coming home from wherever he was coming from. Let's just say that this cat did not want him to come home.
What's wrong with that kid?
That cat was on his shit. You know what it is? That cat, he probably be fucking with that cat though. You know,
That's my only thought is like, how many times have you kicked that cat?
yeah, you be fucking with that cat. That cat got your ass slipping.
Yep.
fucked his shit up, man. That's funny as fuck, man. That's what his ass get. I ain't gonna say anything because that cat. I go in the spots and cats don't do that shit, man. Because you don't fuck around and beat on the cats. Another.
Yep.
But man, that was what did you do with my guy Tully, man? Make sure you guys go like, subscribe, share, go hit that notification button, man. Stay up to date on all of our shows. This is another in between time, episode 44 with Tully from Definitive Productions. Any shout outs, anything you want to let the people know before you get out of here?
No.
No.
Go listen to Cumbia.
Cumbiatron. You know what I'm saying?
More Cumbia.
Yes, man. Get that cumbia in. You know what I'm saying? Go get it popping and everything like that. Hey, what shows you got coming up?
I'm gonna do another Legends of the Bay and Fresno or in Reedley. Cumbia stuff. I don't know. Bunch of crap.
Yeah.
Oh, a rave. I'm gonna do a Latin rave. That'll be really fun.
Oh shit.
Like July or something.
We're out there in Fresno.
No, it's gonna be out in the sticks, but it's gonna be cool. It's like a big production.
Okay. Well, when we're ready to do our live podcast, you're gonna be our first booking person, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? As soon as we could be able to sell out. Yeah, as soon as we could sell out a room or some shit, like, you know, we got you, man. You got first dibs on it.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah, man. So you got that. That's a verbal contract. We got you.
Yeah, it's on video.
Yeah, it'll stand up in court. You know. But we got my guy Tully, man. You know, thank you everybody for dropping in. Everybody that tuned in and all that good stuff. Make sure you go like, subscribe, share, hit that notification button. Stay up to date. Follow us. Y'all see us at the bottom of the screen. Street Team Worldwide. Everything Street Team Worldwide. Hit us up for merch. We got some new merch dropping. Actually, we do got some new merch dropping. Shout out to my boy Rashid and my boy Nico, man. Just make some new stuff for us. We're going to be dropping that soon. So get ready. You know what I'm saying? So we got it going, man. So until next time, you already know what it is. It's your boy Don Primo.